When LeBron James decided to take his talents to Philadelphia, it became one of the more interesting developments of the NBA offseason. But as usual with LeBron James and anything he does, there spurs a lot of discourse that, I find it a little bit empty, but I also find some value in it. Some people are saying that what LeBron is doing is categorized as ring chasing, and it's often put in a negative connotation, and I kind of want to examine that in this video today. So I decided to go to a local coffee shop and make a PowerPoint presentation on it. Actually, it's Prezi. So today I want to pose the question, when is it actually ring chasing, guys? Before we continue this video, I just want to say thank you for watching and supporting this channel, and please subscribe to my main channel. We're trying to get to 150,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Let's do it. I know we can. Also, the best way to support me is to sign up for Nebula. Now, Nebula is a streaming service made by some of the best content creators in the business. You'll be able to get access to my long-form, highly researched, highly thought-out videos early, ad-free, and sponsor-free. If you sign up with the link in my description, you'll be able to get 50% off a yearly subscription to Nebula. Everyone wins. Thanks, y'all. And last but not least, if you want updates, if you want behind the scenes, if you want to be featured in the credits of some of my longer form videos, please sign up for my Patreon. And don't worry, there's a free tier if you just want to see what's going on over there, but it's a lot of fun. Let's get to the rest of the video. So I think the main question I want to ask about ring chasing is, like, how did we get here? How did we get to a place where it became like such a hot button topic in a way, whereas like I thought that was the overall goal? Like, how did we get here in terms of ring chasing? Now, I first think that ring chasing also comes with the introduction of ring culture. Now, for what you don't know, what you might not know, is that ring culture is what I consider, and what a lot of people consider, a term in sports media where no matter what accomplishments, achievements, anything positive that you've had to do in your career or throughout the season, the only thing that matters to some pundits, some fans, is if there's a championship ring at the end of it. As you can see here, there is a First Take ESPN segment talking about LeBron being critical with the obsession of ring culture, which is funny because ring culture kind of revolves around Michael Jordan versus LeBron. There's some Tom Brady involved for that. What I find interesting in that panel is that the basketball players that are on that segment did not win an NBA championship. Well, Jay Williams won at Duke, so that's college basketball championship. But Tracy McGrady and Gilbert Arenas both did not win an NBA championship. And Tracy McGrady is actually one of the more interesting examples of what I consider ring chasing. I mean, he did play for the San Antonio Spurs. You guys probably don't remember that. Yeah, the year that the San Antonio Spurs made the NBA Finals, Tracy McGrady was on one of those teams. I'm not going to tell you which year. You're going to have to figure that out for yourself. There's also this quote here from the movie Bad Teacher, where Jason Segel argues with a character named Sean about LeBron versus Michael Jordan, and Jason Segel's character goes, 6 rings is the only argument I need, Sean. And I feel like that kind of mentality seeped from sports media also into pop culture, etc., etc., and that's where we get the ring culture phenomenon that we have today. Now, I'm not saying that we're in an era just now where sporting figures are just now getting criticized for not being able to win the big one, okay? That's happened for decades, whether it happened with Charles Barkley, John Elway, before he won the Super Bowls, etc., etc. It happens, okay? But we kind of shift the goalposts when it comes to ring chasing, because even winning a championship ring might not be enough for some people. Like for basketball, even if you win a championship, if you didn't do it in the most ethical way possible, people still find a way to discredit it. People consider what Kevin Durant did ring chasing. To a degree, I understand. However, I consider ring chasing one when you're not the finals MVP twice. You see what I'm saying? So there might be a debate as to what is a ring chase, and again, I will get to that in a second, but I want to talk about NBA fans' obsession with like the ethical ring, or rings that matter. Like, there are different weights to championship rings, and I've always found that funny because here's the Venn diagram I made where it's like, is the player likable? Did they do it the hard way versus did you not have too much help? Because sometimes you can win a championship ring, but then be like, oh, you're on a stacked team, so this championship ring weighs less. And it just sounds stupid. It sounds stupid when you equate it to other stuff, right? When you try to compare championship rings, it's one of the things where it's like, dude, they're all in the same tier. Why are you arguing? It seems like there's only a couple of ethical NBA championship rings in recent memory, and that is only Dirk. It's only Dallas Dirk. I think he's the only one that is actually in all of those three of the Venn diagrams, right? He's a very likable superstar, had a very hard path to the NBA Finals, and he wasn't on a super team, but that team was good, but he was the clear leader of it. This is what we consider an ethical ring. There are not many stars, and there's not many instances where all three of these overlap, right? Because you could argue for LeBron in 2016 when he beat the Warriors, but LeBron kind of goes on the realm between, is he completely likable or is he have that likable, dislikable thing? So you might have people that are arguing for other parts of the Venn diagram, and that's why this all gets so insanely stupid. Now, people always talk about ring chasing, and whenever I hear it, people always say that it's some kind of like prevalent problem, or it's just like some pervasive thing throughout the league. And I gotta say, with the math, there's only one person, there's only one team that wins a championship every year. So there are a lot of instances where ring chasing just flat out doesn't work. A main thing I think of is when DeMarcus Cousins joined the Golden State Warriors, the 1 year where they lose to the Raptors. Sometimes it just doesn't work. You also have Deron Williams joining the Cleveland Cavaliers the year after they won the NBA Finals, and I'm willing to bet a lot of money that a lot of people watching this video forgot that he joined the team. And of course, I think one of the more popular instances of ring chasing that people really know is when Gary Payton and that scumbag number 32 tried to join the Shaq and Kobe Lakers at the height of their powers, but that instance backfired against the Pistons. Another ethical ring. The 2004 Pistons ethical ring, in some people's opinions. So yeah, a lot of times you have instances of ring chasing that are going to get lost in the annals of history because it just doesn't work. There's no guarantee that just because you go to a team means that they're going to win a championship ring for free. That's not how that works. It never has been. So without further ado, I know a lot of people try to define ring chasing and have their own different criteria. Well, here's mine. I'm going to give my ring chasing criteria. The first rule of ring chasing is that it has to be a free agent signing. If you get traded there, you're not chasing, you got sent there. I think that this has to be the number one thing. You have to be a free agent. The only other option would be if you got traded and had a no trade clause and only had like a specific destination and like forced your way over to that team because you wanted to ring chase. That is the only amendment, but I think that you have to be a free agent. The reason why this Chris Paul thing isn't ring chasing in my mind is because he got traded for Jordan Poole. Chris Paul signed with the Warriors as a free agent after this, then yeah, I would consider this a ring chase. A little bit of a ring chase. But a key thing for me in terms of what I define as a ring chase is that it's not for lack of trying. I think that to be a ring chaser, you have to be a veteran that has established and tried a lot of other methods, a lot of other, either you had a really long era where it didn't work out or you just tried everything else. And a key example for me, I think, is Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin was a part of the Lob City Clippers, right? And they had so many times that they entered the season and throughout the season they were seen as potential contenders, and it goes up in flames. Now he gets traded to Detroit, right? And as a Pistons fan, the Blake Griffin experience is something that I will never take for granted, but we were never seriously going to think about winning a championship ring over there anytime soon. So after the Pistons waive Blake Griffin then joins two different teams, the Celtics and the Nets. Two teams that I would consider had really great chances of winning a championship. Now, Blake Griffin, of course, compared to the prime of his career, takes a backseat to try to help both of these teams in any way he can. I consider that ring chasing. I mean, one, he joins a pretty stacked Boston Celtics team, and then he also joins the KD, Kyrie, James Harden, Brooklyn Nets. I consider that ring chasing, and that's fine. But I think the main key difference to ring chasing that separates this is that you have to have never won a championship before. I think there's a difference between ring chasing and ring stacking, all right? So that's why I kind of see the LeBron going to Philly thing as not a ring chase. I just see it as someone that already has 4 championship rings, trying to just find the best place to get his 5th one. It's not like he is joining a team and being like, oh, I need this ring. My entire legacy hinges on this. No, I don't think he's going there. I think LeBron's really going like, hey, I'm old. I want to go to the place that has the best chance for me to win my last championship ring. I've tried it. I've had stints at 3 different organizations. I'm going to try this last one. I'm going to take the vet minimum. I think the reason why we see ring chasers and put it in a negative connotation is because a lot of the ring chasers that we have examples of are of people that in arguments, a ring in their argument would, on paper or on the Basketball Reference at least, kind of alter or magnify their legacy, but also in a way to where it's like, yes, you would have won a championship, but I would not remember that championship or you being on that championship team. And with the NBA, how much we attach certain rings to certain players, we like make it synonymous where it's like, 2006 is the Dwayne Wade and Shaq ring, right? We have those rings and that players attached to them, right? No one really thinks of the 2002 Lakers ring as the Rick Fox ring. You know what I'm saying here? So that's why I think it's important. So I think, yeah, ring chasing, ring stacking, 2 different things. So remember when I said that ring chasing doesn't really happen that often? That's because I went through like the NBA offseason moves for this season as I make this video, and the only move that I even kind of considered maybe being a ring chase is Tobias Harris. But even I don't believe this. This is the closest thing. It's a veteran that's taking another role and going to a team that had more success in the playoffs than the team that you were just on. But I don't think that it doesn't matter, right? I don't think this is ring chasing because it's just not. Again, it doesn't happen that often, but this is the only thing close to anything that happened this offseason. So my main thing is that ring chasing, I don't think is that bad. And it happens less than we think, bro. And the Kevin Durant quote where he was like, everybody in the NBA is either chasing rings, shot attempts, or money. I find that very fascinating because Kevin Durant is right. Also, I just don't think we should put ring chasing in such a negative light, because I think that we as a sports fandom, as some people that enjoy sports so much, whether it's the media, whether it's fan bases, whether it's the sports communities, it's that we either have one or the other, where it's like, oh, this guy, we view certain athletes that don't win championships as perpetual losers. We either see someone be a winner once, or they're a perpetual loser and wasn't able to be that one team out of 30 at any point in their career being able to win a championship. However, when people and players and teams, they potentially see that, they potentially hear the noise, and then they go to another team, they go to the best place that's potentially for them, and then we criticize them for not winning a ring the right way, or if you can't beat them, join them, and that's a negative on your legacy. We often move the goalposts for things like this, and it often is aggravating and annoying to me because we're the ones chilling at home. We're the ones not putting in the work, but we're also the ones that are devising and concocting lose-lose situations for the players and coaches that have. It's never really made sense to me. It kind of reminds you in pickup basketball sometimes where you'll have that one good team that has been dominating the run, and then one of those players might get hurt and you need to sub out. Are you going to join that good team, that really good team, or are you going to wait and be like, nah, I want to take my chances with this team over here? Like, it depends. A lot of people are just joining that really good team. And I feel like a lot of people won't admit that. I've always been to pickup basketball runs, and this applies to a lot of pickup sports runs. I've always been around pickup environments where there are certain people that want to stack the teams. They want to stack the deck because they want to win at the end of the day. And I feel like with ring culture, we kind of put these parameters on trying to win that don't make any sense. So yeah, ring chasing isn't bad. It doesn't happen as often as possible, because their contracts, salaries, whatever. And if you do think that ring chasing is a negative on someone's career, I just can't agree with that. As a longtime content creator, I consider myself a student of the game. I love nerding out and being constantly entertained and inspired by some of the best creators and projects in the space. It doesn't matter the genre. For example, one of my favorite sports creators, Mapify, has a series called Beyond the Bleachers. They break down the correlation between the geography and impact of stadium locations all around the world. Episode 1 compares European football stadiums to American football stadiums. Episode 2 examines the size and age of stadiums between Europe and North America, while Episode 3 explores the diverse cultures that stadiums foster. It's a riveting commentary that answers a lot of questions I had about stadium location choices and how it subliminally affects us as fans. Beyond the Bleachers is a show original to Nebula, the creator-owned streaming service that I am very proud to be a part of. It is the home of incredible content from some of the best creators in the world, and is the sponsor of this video. The best way to support me is by signing up for Nebula with my link. There are multiple plans that you can do to help support me. There's the one-time lifetime payment of $300, where you get Nebula forever. But if you want to go year by year, that's more than fine too. With my link, you can get a special discount for the annual plan while supporting me directly in the process. A nice portion of that money will go directly to me as long as you are subscribed. That helps me with the consistency and quantity of the content that you'll get from me. Support me and the many other awesome creators today by signing up for Nebula today. Thanks for watching, y'all.